All right, Coco. How are you, Coco?
Hello, Judge. Judge,
right.
This is not going to be one of our more polite conversations.
Of course it is. Now, let me ask you this. So we've got Donald Trump 6 days away. There's no question that he has a wide electoral margin, and Congressman Lewis says he is not a legitimate president. Agree or disagree?
I don't think he's a legitimate president.
Okay, why?
I do think he's going, hang on, and I do think he's going to become the president, and I am not in favor of martial law. We are the United States of America.
Okay.
I think that Donald Trump's election was the product of a Putin coup, an invasion of our country, through fake news, through hacking the DNC, and he got his victory from cheating. The other thing is, and I know this is a surprise.
Stop.
I know
no, wait a minute. We're not going on. How did Donald Trump cheat? How?
Putin cheated on his behalf, and there are countless reports about how Donald Trump's emissaries communicated with Putin throughout the campaign.
About what?
Took intelligence.
About what?
And Donald Trump himself requested Putin.
All right, let's back up for a second. You know that Barack Obama himself said the election, it could not possibly be rigged because we do not have a centralized system. Barack Obama said that himself. He said that himself.
I'm not saying.
Everyone, let me finish. Let me finish. And everyone has said that if the emails were hacked by Russia, okay, and I don't care if it's Russia, Julian Assange, Hillary's hairdresser, or Osama bin Laden rose from the ocean and hacked them, I don't really care. Nobody has said that Hillary's emails or the DNC emails were not accurate. So how was the election rigged?
They weren't accurate. No, they were selectively.
What wasn't accurate?
They were selectively edited and disclosed by WikiLeaks.
Oh, yeah? Who said that?
There was there was an avalanche of fake news and harassment and trolling by paid operatives from the Russian government.
Fake news?
And we know that the CIA and the FBI have said that Putin intended to install Trump.
What's the fake news? What's
fake news is all kinds of insults and aspersions and lies spread about Hillary Clinton. Look, she was. Well, let's put this aside, okay? I want to talk for a second about what you said about limousine liberals and how awful we are. And
wait a minute. Before you get to that, wait a minute. What is the fake? Wait a minute. I have some questions. What's the fake news? Donald Trump all kinds of fake news sites. The machines.
It's documented. Look, Samantha Bee on her show interviewed a bunch of people who were paid to troll people on Twitter. Let's put that aside. There are reports all over the world. There are reports.
Look, there are reports. You are not seriously suggesting that a comedian has intelligence on Putin. Are you?
Look,
Samantha Bee's a comedian.
I'm saying that she did a report, and she look. Let's. I want to back this up.
That's fake
I want to back this up.
That goes with the golden showers.
This is an alternative universe, and you can hide from the reports around the country, around the world, that Putin intervened in our election. But the thing is, Donald Trump is going to be inaugurated, but he is also going to come to trial at some point. I am a liberal, and I love my country, and I am part of the resistance. And I believe this man will be president, but I also believe that it is a liberal's job to oppose him.
Okay, you know what? You got the First Amendment right, but let me tell you something.
Yeah.
We hack them, they hack us. Do you agree with that?
I do not believe. I think that when a foreign government invades our country, it is a serious act of war.
Did they come to the borders? Because if they
Republicans
did,
and Trump are not taking this seriously, is horrifying.
Coco, look, you know what? You're dreaming.
Do you understand?
Nobody invaded.
The CIA. Right? Do you disagree that the CIA and the FBI said that Putin intended to influence the election?
Putin did not invade the country, and neither did the Russians. And when they do, I'll let you know. Because we'll call the military.
Then what is the difference between walking into our borders and invading our digital borders?
Coco, thank you for being with us. Always a pleasure. Anyway, my political panel is standing by for probably a lower key debate on all of this. Plus, a very special guest, the daughter-in-law. We are 6 days away from what for centuries has been a peaceful transition of power. Yet our democracy has never been in greater danger. Instead of enjoying and celebrating this time-honored, sacred, and hallowed tradition where the torch is passed to a new, democratically elected president of the greatest nation on earth, we are mired down in the politics of division, fake news, and hate-fueled resistance to the 45th President of the United States. Shame on us. This week, a United States congressman, with no doubt a stellar record in the civil rights movement, John Lewis, said he would not attend the inauguration, adding this.
It's going to be very difficult. I don't see this president-elect as a legitimate president.
Not legitimate? Pray tell, Congressman Lewis, what's not legitimate? Donald Trump won by a large electoral college margin, and in spite of efforts to do a recount, which backfired big time, and efforts to influence those faithless electors, nothing changed. Congressman, you have devoted your life to equal rights and equal justice for all. You have been rewarded with a seat in America's most exalted House of Representatives. Likewise, Donald Trump has been rewarded with a seat in America's White House. Are you not a part of our democracy? Do you not want a peaceful transition of power? Did you not take an oath to support the Constitution, including Article 2 that created the Electoral College? You, a congressman for 30 years, know how to amend the Constitution if you don't like it. No one has a promise with your voicing your First Amendment rights. But you and your party, those purveyors of the peaceful transition of power, so concerned that the Republicans wouldn't be, are daily proving yourselves to be hypocrites. And another Democrat, Congresswoman Maxine Waters, proudly asserts her refusal to meet the man who will sit in the Oval Office. Where's equal rights and inclusion? Where's doing your job for the people who elected you? And as for those liberal Hollywood leftists in need of a lobotomy, like Rosie O'Donnell, they are straight up communists. Rosie supports imposing martial law, delaying the inauguration until Trump is cleared of all charges. Rosie, I know you. I don't have a problem with you. But martial law? Are you nuts? Do you even know what martial law is? It's when the military takes over when we're invaded and we're at war. And by the way, Trump isn't charged with anything. And for him to be cleared, there'd have to be a trial. Ain't no trials happening, Rosie, during martial law. And on a personal level, Rosie, you would hate it. There would be curfews and checkpoints. There'd be tanks in the streets. And no, you couldn't call an Uber tank for a quick latte at your local Starbucks. Your tweet is stupid. Since when does the left want the military to take over? And a little primer, Rosie. When they do, people like you, who call for the overthrow of the president, meet a firing squad. And it ain't a happy ending. And while we're at it, Rosie, what you said about Barron Trump, a 10-year-old kid who amazingly was still standing at 3 a.m. when his father won the presidency, was as classless and rude as it gets. And to then claim he's not off limits, and you call Trump mentally unstable? Rosie, since when are you the bastion of brilliant behavior? Why don't you put on your big girl pants and come to grips with the fact that Donald Trump is your next president and you're either with America or against America? If you don't like him, campaign harder next time. And let this be a wake-up call to you and your Hollywood friends that you don't speak for America. And by the way, Isn't Hollywood supposed to be inclusive and accepting of the views of people who don't look or talk or act like them? And newsflash, and this isn't fake news, the people in Middle America, some of whom ride a tractor for a living, wear the same boots every day, wear a badge, go overseas, not knowing if they'll come home, are sick and tired of your nonsense. You know, the silent and forgotten men and women of America who rose up against you bozos and your candidate. It's about time you accepted them and respected them for their hard work, sacrifice, and yes, even their investment in your movies, TV shows, and records. From the liberal DC politicians to the liberals in Hollywood, my message, actually America's message, is the same. You lost, we won. Swallow your pride, get in line, stop thinking you're so damn important that the world has to stop and listen to your revolutionary nonsense. Your candidate just didn't cut the mustard. Donald J. Trump is the president for the next 4 years. Deal with it. And that's my open.